Pedro's. He was injured. He was injured. He didn't play that World Cup. He didn't play the World Cup.
To the other two finally lost.
Yeah, he lost. Sorry. Pedro's boy. EPL winner with Chelsea, Champions League with Barca, World Cup with Spain. And this is tough. The fifth one is tough. Barca is Henri PK, Pedro is right. The fifth one is tough. Giuliano Belletti, never heard of him till today.
Is that
EPL winner with Chelsea, Champions League Barcelona, World Cup with Brazil.
Belletti? What do you heard about?
Who's the only player to win Champions League, Premier League, UEFA Cup and FA Cup and be relegated from the Premier League?
Champions League? Premier League?
Has won Champions League, Premier League, UEFA Cup, FA Cup and relegated from Premier League.
So basically English Champions League winner who's been relegated from the Premier League won UEFA Cup. UEFA Cup recently won United, Arsenal, Chelsea. उसमें एक बंदा relegated हुआ.
He's an African.
Huh?
African. He got relegated to Portsmouth. Some other team won. He won UEFA with Arsenal. No, Kanu. Random. So in code I just found it. You had dinner, no? Can you order Swiggy Super for me? I will use mine.
Super doesn't have a cap.
It does. I just ordered ice cream.
Super तो किसमें था?
4 hours?
2 hours for Swiggy at coupon.
Swiggy.
Swiggy में हाँ ठीक है कुछ नहीं है Swiggy.
No, I ordered ice cream.
Very few restaurants.
It's fine, it's fine. I'll get it.
Super has no cap. If you want super, you can take it.
Swiggy 8 is the one with the.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Super has no cap. But you are not on Swiggy anymore. Nothing on Swiggy. Only one. And Lunchbox. Very few places. And Tipsy Raikkonen. It's actually pretty nice.
It's good.
चाहिए तो ले ले.
No, it's fine. Belletti scored? Apparently Belletti is not there also. Hint scored the winner in a famous UCL final in 2000s.
Who? What's the question?
Barthez, Pedro, Henri Piquet right, Sahil is saying. And the other person scored the winner in the famous UCL final in 2000s. Famous UCL winner. I wonder what I should eat, man. Two times 6 who won? Belletti scored 2 times 6, no? Final.
Belletti scored the only goal in 2006 Champions League final.
You know?
Barca Arsenal. I haven't watched that one.
रात को भाई सब सिर्फ बिरयानी का दुकान ही होता है सिर्फ. You know? Maybe Leon. Getting a lot of hate on my Twitter. I posted something.
The Gamburi one. रोहित शर्मा यार क्या बात है।
What?
इंस्टाग्राम में currently watching OC. What a guy.
My wife must be taking it to watch.
विजय आ रहा है क्या?
I think he's busy with work. He'll come if he has to.
विजय आ रहा है क्या? साथ में देखने मजा।
Mic check. Can you guys hear me? It's 10 o'clock, so we'll start in a couple of minutes. Just let me know. Thanks, Sahil. Thanks, Artak.
We have changed a few things, order and check them. The idea is to send it to my
Alright, so it's 10 o'clock, guys. We won't waste any more time. Thanks for joining me today for the daily quiz during the coronavirus lockdown. Hope you guys have had a good day, and maybe your day will get even better after participating in today's quiz. For all of you joining me for the first time, how the quiz works is you have the live stream on where the questions come, and then you have to log in on kahoot.it on your phone or on second tab and put in the game pin. And once you do that, that Kahoot will work as an answer pad for you, and you can answer there. The faster you answer, the more points you get, and that gives you an advantage because Googlers are at a disadvantage because they earn lesser points. And anyway, Googling is no fun in a quiz where there's no prize money or no prizes involved. Apart from that, one important thing I want to say is that there's a 10-second lag between what I'm doing and what you can see. So that means the ability to answer on Kahoot will come 10 seconds before you can actually see the question on your screen. So make sure you answer only after you see what the question is. Otherwise, you will just be answering blindly. And finally, make sure that you are as live as you can be, and that means that there should be a red dot next to the live word on the live stream. If that red thing is gray, that means your stream has dropped off by a few seconds, and that just means you'll be seeing the questions very late and answering slowly. So after every question or two, just make sure that the live button is red on your screen, because if it's not, you'll just be losing out on the fun today. So with that said and done, one last thing is that don't use the chat screen to answer. Use the chat screen to chat, but don't reveal the answers there. Let me just remove the text from the screen so you can see what's happening on the computer, on your screens, and that should sort it. And without wasting any more time, here's the first question coming up to you. The topic of the day today is general. 50 of you are playing today. Interesting. Many of you went for Australia, 35 of you in fact, but the answer is Great Britain. Only 10 of you got that right. It was in 1990 that the TV show MasterChef first aired, and it was in Great Britain. After that, it sort of went off the airs for many years, over a decade, before returning again. And looks like Sham Takhel is the leader with 927 points. Tipsy, Andy, Taranjot, Rory are in the top 5. Question number 2 coming up for you guys. Pradeep is saying the timer in Kahoot stopped before the question came up. Well, Pradeep, I think your live stream has dropped off by a second or two, and that is probably why. Just make sure that the live button is red on the screen, and that is you need to have that to be live. Your internet might have slowed down, and therefore your stream might have lagged a bit as well. All is the correct answer. Most of you got it right, in fact, over 50 of you. Pan means all in Greek, and that means Tipsy Raikkonen moves up to first, Taranjot second, Rory's fourth, Daily Blend is fifth, Here's question number 3 coming up for you guys. Only 15 of you get this right. It is indeed Jerusalem, and Schindler's List is the story about Oskar Schindler, who saves many Jews from dying. In fact, he died in Germany, but his body was buried in the Mount Zion Cemetery in Jerusalem as a tribute to those he saved in the Second World War. And there's a very poignant scene at the end of the movie where all the current descendants of people who Oskar Schindler saved pay tribute to him there. Hard luck to all those of you who got it wrong, which is around 75% of you. Only 15 of you got that right, and that means we have a new leader. Half-Blood Prince moves up to first. CSJ is fourth. Disha climbs up 31 places. Question number 4 coming up for you guys. Quite a simple actually. Inspired by MasterChef actually. Again, 50 of you get that right. A simple one as expected. Deer is the right answer. That shouldn't make much change in the leaderboard, I suppose. CSJ moves up to first. Sham Takhel is second. Siddhant moves up to fourth. Spaceman Spiff has 3 correct answers in a row. And here's question number 5 coming up for you guys. Forty-three of you get the right answer. It is Indonesia, which is the correct answer. Over 12% of the world's Muslim population is in Indonesia. Pakistan, I think, is a close second with 11.5% of the world population, and then India. 43 of you get that right. Interesting to see. And Siddhant moves up to third. Disha is fourth. Sahil has climbed up 17 places. Here's the next question. Question number 6 for you guys. Only 9 of you get that right. It is indeed Ecuador. Well, these are called Panama hats, but they're not from Panama. They're from Ecuador. That's a trick question of sorts, and yeah, hard luck to all of you who got it wrong. Ecuador was the correct answer. 9 of you only. Well, they are called Panama hats, but it's not from Panama. Omega moves up to first, and Abhinav moves up to fifth. Question number 7 coming up, the penultimate question of the first half. Last 3 answer, the more points you get, by the way. "25 of you get that right. It is the Hagia Sophia, which was built by Justinian I, rebuilt actually, but it's a modern wonders of the world. Christ the Redeemer, Colosseum, and Petra are. Christ the Redeemer is the newest among all the 7 modern wonders of the world. That's around half of you who got it right, and Siddhant jumps up to second, Disha's third, Spaceman Spiff is fourth, and Muds climbs up 17 places. Last question of the first half coming up. Happens. Mario Zagallo is the correct answer. Only 21 of you got that right. Many of you went for Beckenbauer, who's also done it, and Didier Deschamps has also done it. But Zagallo is the first one to do it. Ernst Happel has not achieved it yet. And the top 3 got that right. Daley Blind has moved up to 5th. Question number 9 coming up for you guys. Quite a split between all 4 guesses, but the answer is Lakshadweep. Only 34 square kilometers. Chandigarh is second, around 115 square kilometers, which effectively is around 4 times the size of Lakshadweep. 20 of you got that right, and that means Spaceman moves up to second, Abhinav's 4th, Muds is 5th. Question number 9 coming up for you guys right away. Question is, 3 of these movies were books which were made into film. But which of these was a film that later became a book? It was a film first and a book later. Quite a crazy trivia actually. Only 11 of you get that right. It is Water. The really interesting thing is that the movie Water came out in 2005. It was a fictionalized story by the director, I think Meera Nair. And then in 2006, Water, the book, was written by the author. Same author as Fire and Earth and so on. 11 of you got that right. This is quite an interesting thing I discovered today. And Tipsy Raikkonen moves up to second, B is 4th, Mahima climbs up 23 places with that answer. Question number 11 coming up for you guys. Sorry, Deepa Mehta, not Meera Nair. Thanks for correcting me. So officially, which of these countries is not a Scandinavian country? Sort of a split between Finland and Denmark, but the answer is Finland. Scandinavia officially is Sweden, Norway and Denmark. Finland is not part of it, and 25 of you got that right, which is still the most popular guess. And B moves up to second, that's about it. Vinay Handa climbs 20 places. The next question coming up for you, question number 12. It's tricky. So make sure that your stream is live. My own stream just dropped off by a few seconds, so just a reminder that your stream needs to be live, otherwise you'll be answering the questions late. Answers coming in thick and fast, but are they all right? That's the big question. And 16 of you got it right. It is Mount Krakatoa's eruption, which is the reason behind the red hue in Edvard Munch's painting, The Scream. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's 1883, but I might be mistaken. So Mount Krakatoa it is, which is the right answer. 16 of you only went for it. Vesuvius was, I mean, it does explode here and there, but the most famous one was long back. So B moves up to first. I think that's Brajendu. Siddhant is third. Naina is fourth. Question number 13 coming up. And the answer is Canada. The California roll was created in Vancouver in Canada, and by a sushi chef called Tojo. It was those who did not go to the US, they wanted to know sort of what American cuisine is like. So this chef came up with the California roll, which is the kind of sushi, just to sort of appease those customers who had not had a taste of American food yet. And to sort of capture that market. 19 of you get it right, good job. And Siddhant moves up to second, Naina is third. Question number 14 coming up for you guys. Twenty-six of you get it right. It is as late as the 20th century that the White House got its name. Before that, it was called the Presidential Palace or President's Home and terms like that. But it was Teddy Roosevelt who gave the term White House for the American President's Home. Good answer by those of you who got it right. Here's the next question coming up for you guys. Now, the penultimate question of the quiz. Before that, we have a new leader. Omega climbs to first. Spaceman Spiff is second. Question number 15, the penultimate question. By contiguous, it means non-breaking, or no gaps in sort of borders and so on. No gaps, contiguous. Thirty-nine of you got it right. It is indeed the Mongol Empire, which is actually the second largest empire of all time, behind the British Empire, of course. But the British Empire was not contiguous; it was scattered, and the Mongol, most of it was, the hard work was done by Genghis Khan. And before the last question, let's look at who the leaders are. Omega is first, Spaceman is second, Sham Takhel is third, Brajendu is fourth, Siddhant is fifth. And before the last question, just want to say thank you guys for joining me today. Really appreciate you guys participating and giving half an hour of your time today. And after the last question, I will just be dropping the WhatsApp link on the chat window here, so that you can share the link with your friends to join. If you haven't joined from WhatsApp, then that's where I make my announcement every day for the quizzes. And appreciate your time. Here's the last question coming up. Question number 16. And only 8 of you got it right. Gossip Girl is the correct answer. It's the only TV show among these not based in LA. It is based in New York City, Upper East Side. And that's the end of the quiz. I have dropped the WhatsApp link as well. And let's see who the winners are today. Coming in third with 10 correct answers, we have Omega. Coming in second with 10 correct answers is Brajendu, and the winner with 10 but fastest is Shah K. Congratulations, you guys. Coming in fourth, fifth, and let's look how the rest will be. Internet's a bit grabbing the